Marjori is a trained brain gym instructor, an emotional freedom technique or EFT tapping practitioner, and a certified life coach. And she's been guiding her clients in optimizing their brain for more than 20 years. She works also as a coach, staff educator, and a provider for the State of California Department of Rehab. Marjori's helped many people to connect, successfully sharpen their focus, learn new things, accomplish goals. Let's give a warm section on aging welcome to Marjori Favuzzi.
Okay. Alrighty. Hi there. Good morning. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about today, we're going to be actually doing some very interactive things. Can everybody hear me? Okay? This is good? All right. So, I really specialize in working with the brain. We all have one. We all have an aging brain. And as we age, we find that there are differences, right? So, who can relate with walking into a room and not remembering why you went there? Right? Or even spacing out while you're driving down the road, and all of a sudden you realize that you haven't seen anything for a couple of miles, right? So we pay attention to so many things at once. We have information overload, and actually a lot of us have kind of creative wiring, so we're not exactly maybe right in the moment, because we have so many thoughts that we're cycling, and we have very creative brains. And what happens is I also happen to work with people who have ADD, but you don't have to put a label on it. You just need to know what are the challenges and what are the strengths and how can I work with it. And it turns out that there's a lot that you can do. Years ago they used to think that, this is so weird, I'm hearing an echo. Years ago they thought that the neuroplasticity of the brain was pretty much set. And that if you didn't have good experiences when you were growing up, you know, that's too bad. That's what the cards you were dealt, and you weren't going to change much. They know now that that is absolutely not true. At any age, you can do things to make your brain more magnificent. So that's the really good news. So when would you want to be doing those things? Anytime you are moving, you need to be moving forward and you find yourself stuck.
I think she's adjusting herself.
Anytime that you feel like you're not remembering things as well as you used to, perhaps you are bringing the past forward more and not being in the present, or you may be in the future. So here's a tip. If you're living in the past or thinking about things from 10 years ago, or if you're thinking about things that haven't happened yet, you aren't focused. Being focused is being in the moment, and that's the only place that we really have that sense of power. And it's actually, this is nothing new. Mark Twain actually said that all of us lead such dramatic lives, much of which never happened. Right? So we are so creative. We think about all kinds of scenarios. The thing is that the brain doesn't know that what you're thinking is not true. So if you are projecting that, you know, you're going to be having a horrible car accident, or you're projecting something that's scary, negative, worrisome, the brain thinks, oh, it's happening. It's happening right now, particularly if you're picturing it. When you're thinking about something that happened 10 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, brain thinks, oh, it's happening again. And in that case, usually those things that we bring up are traumatic. So then the brain gets re-traumatized. You can tell that this is true, that in the brain and actually in the heart, there is no such thing as a delineation of time. All time is happening at the same time. For instance, if you think about something that was embarrassing that happened to you, you might find yourself sweating, or you might find yourself blushing, because the brain thinks it's happening and the brain is sending chemicals down to create that bodily response. So really important to notice what you're thinking and to turn it around, because you have to become the user of your brain and not be used by it. All right? So today what I want to do is I want to show you a few exercises that are easy, that are cumulatively effective in the brain, and that will really make a difference in your life and the people that you serve. The first thing we're going to do, I'm going to teach you a little bit about brain gym, and then we're going to talk about EFT tapping, which some people, the internet's been pretty good about telling people about tapping. A lot of people have the wrong idea about it because they may have worked with somebody who really didn't know what they were doing. But we'll touch on that as well. So we're going to do kind of a before and after, so you can see the effect in your own brain. I want you to just go ahead and turn over a piece of paper. You can use one of the papers that I have there on the table. Okay, now fold it in half. Doesn't matter which way. And I want you to just, I'm going to give you about a minute to just write down whatever's rambling through your brain. Nobody's going to look at it. Nobody's going to grade it for spelling. This is just for your information only. This is called doing a brain dump. So just write down whatever's in your mind. You have another few seconds there. Okay, so just finishing that up. So some people have a laundry list, and some people maybe are very focused on one thing. But now I'm going to teach you some exercises from Brain Gym. Brain Gym is from the Educational Kinesiology Foundation. It's been taught for the last 50 years all around the world. It's used in a lot of corporations, it's used in senior centers, it's used in schools, and it's about bringing you back into the moment. There are 26 movements to Brain Gym. I use 4 of them, which are called PACE. Stands for Positive, Action, Clarity, and Energy. This will definitely help your clients, and you'll see why in just a minute. So we are going to be getting up and doing just a little bit of movement. I'll lead you through it, okay? I'm not going to take, there is the information there on the table, so you can get some of the information. You can also, I'll give you a link at the end, so you can go online and get more information and do the exercises along with me if you'd like. All right, first thing I want you to do is stand up. Okay. So, we're going to actually just we're going to be working with the limbic system, which is mood, memory, and the brain. You're going to put one hand just above your belly button. It doesn't matter which one, just the palm of it. The other hand is going to find your collarbone and let the fingers drop down on either side and just really gently massage it. Go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath. And then make sure that your tongue is just connecting to the roof of your mouth somewhere along the roof of the mouth. Doesn't have to be the entire thing. That's a point to the brainstem. So with each new breath, conscious breath, allow yourself to arrive right here, right now, right where your feet are, feeling your feet connected to the floor, and by extension to the earth. And just allowing yourself to drop into it. Okay, let's take another big breath in. and out. And then I'll have you open your eyes and I'll show you what's next. Can you feel already the difference in the room? The energy just kind of mellowing out? Okay. The next thing is we're going to connect left and right brain by crossing over the midline. Left brain controls right side, right brain controls left. So we're going to be doing this. If you are physically challenged, then I'll show you an adaptation. We can do like 1, 2, 20 times. If you're physically challenged, do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay? Very good. Alrighty, that's called cross crawls. Sit down, go ahead and sit down again. At this time, I'm going to have you cross your ankles. You have acupressure points on your ankles and your feet. And I'm going to have you, this is tricky with the microphone.
Do like this.
You have acupressure points on your fingers, you're over your heart. And again, tongue to the roof of the mouth. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And I just add in a progressive relaxation. So just focusing on the face and forehead, just kind of breathe in. And as you breathe out, release tension and tightness that may be held there. And then focusing on your neck, breathing in, releasing. Focusing on your shoulders, breathe in, release. Focusing on your back, feeling against whatever you're sitting against. Breathing in, letting go. Feeling the chair beneath you. Just breathe into your hips, the whole saddle area. Let your hips relax as you breathe out. And then just breathe into those upper legs and the knees. And release. And breathe into your lower legs. And then just keep going by breathing in and releasing down to your ankles and your feet. When you're done, I want you to just take another big breath in and out. And then without talking, open your eyes, turn your paper over, and write what's in your mind. Some of you may not have much, and that's good. That's a good news thing. Only once in doing all of this, I've been doing brain gym for 28 years. Once I had a woman that said, "The voices stopped. What do I do? The voices never stop." And I thought, oh, different level there. So, but this is a way, this is what it feels like to be focused in the moment. This is something very simple that you can use with your clients. And I'm glad to come out and do staff trainings as well, because you can get deeper than that. But it just brings you right here, right now. If they're more focused, they're not going to be falling as easily. They're not going to be thinking about other things when they're supposed to be thinking about really what they're doing. They're going to be able to take the past traumas come forward more and more as you get older because of biochemical changes in the brain. Because life slows down, we don't have as many distractions. And sometimes it's really hard to tell the difference between what was then, bringing up the fear and the worry and the anxiety, separating it out from whatever's happening now. This is another way to do that. Okay, so how was that? Good? Yeah?
Relaxing.
Yes, and it is cumulative. So if you did it once a day, you start finding that you have more recall of facts. You're able to stay more focused, more present. You're moving through things easier. Great for anger management. I've had people come to me for anger management. They never actually went to a class on it. What they did was they did PACE. The one thing we didn't do was drink water ahead of time. Water is very important. Our brain's mostly made up of water. A lot of us are chronically dehydrated. So you can do this along with me on the internet if you want. You just put in my first name, Marjorie, plus PACE, P-A-C-E in capital letters on YouTube. You come right up with it. Okay, so how am I doing on time?
Yep.
8 minutes total?
No. No, you've got closer to 10 minutes.
Okay, all right, good. All right, so let's talk a little bit about trauma. Because trauma takes us out of the moment. Trauma is different to everybody. Two children can grow up in the exact same household and have different experiences with it. And just like what you say with chronic pain, you can't say that one person's pain is worse than another person's pain because it's very subjective. And that goes the same for trauma too. With some people it rolls off their back, with other people it kind of gets embedded. Right? So, as you get older, if you haven't worked on it, it comes up. Also, if you've done a lot of maybe talk therapy about it, but you haven't done it work on a deeper level, guess what? People end up in my office saying, why is this coming up? I've worked on it in therapy. But this just helps to be stimulating the acupressure points, the meridians that are working with the brain to give it a deeper clearing. Surprisingly enough, I also get a lot of people coming in their 70s and 80s who've never taken the time to work on themselves and have carried things all their lives. So I'm going to show you just a little bit about tapping. You do have the emotional freedom technique, EFT, tapping there with the steps and also the points. And I'm also glad to lead this in a group or come and have a free session. There are gift certificates on the back table if you want to do that. So I'm going to show you. This is tricky.
The other one just has to be turned on if you want that one.
Well, I'm just thinking having an insert. But
Here, that's what I'm going to turn on for you. Sorry. Either one.
never mind, I got it. Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay. So, tapping may look weird, but it's actually been proven. And you can go to EFTuniverse.com. There's double-blind studies. There's a lot of scientific evidence. The American Veterans Association has come out and said that it is the most effective non-medical modality for PTSD for returning vets. So if it works for that, then it can work for people who get stuck. We get into these roadblocks, we have resentments, we have expectations that don't get met. We can go to extreme sadness. I would imagine a lot of the seniors have a lot of expectations from family that doesn't get met. This is a way to help them release it so they don't have to carry it around. And so that people around them are enjoying themselves more too. All right. So what we're doing, I'm going to demonstrate around the microphone here. We're tapping on these acupressure points that connect to the brain. And we're saying the things that are difficult. For instance, let's take the example of nobody ever comes to visit me. Okay? So we actually speak to the negative or more critical statements, not just the affirmations. Because the brain says, you're not paying attention. If you're just telling me it's all fine, I'm just fine, I'm letting go. It might feel good in the moment, but it doesn't last. So we're going to just do it together, and I'm going to have you repeat after me, okay? Nobody ever comes to visit me.
Nobody ever comes to visit me.
Don't they love me anymore? even though that makes me sad, I deeply love and care about myself. I gave so much all my life. Isn't it their turn now? Even though that really angers me. I deeply love and accept myself anyway. Why are they abandoning me? Don't they know how much it hurts? So even though that really makes me sad, I deeply love and care about myself anyway. Okay, now we're going to tap on the top of the head. Why doesn't anybody come to visit me? Do the eyebrow point? I've given a lot over the years. The outside of the eyes. Isn't it their turn now? Under the eyes. Don't they know I'm all alone? Underneath the nose. I never abandoned them. Underneath the lip. But they're leaving me all alone. Underneath the collarbone. And I'm angry. And underneath your arm, you can do this or this. And it's totally not fair. I don't know how to get through to them. I'm just getting through the best I can. Okay. So that's an artificial thing because we're using somebody else's distress. We would normally say, on a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being the most, how much distress or anger or anxiety or sadness do you have around this? And, lots of times people are saying, 11! I'm really upset. So with the tapping, it actually goes down. With something this charged, that's a pretty big emotional charge in that issue, it would probably go down from a 10 to maybe an 8. And then we say, what else is going on? What came up while we were tapping? And it might be, I'm really hurt more than I'm angry. So the more that the anxiety and the intensity of the emotion comes down, the more present you're able to be. Once we get the subjective unit of distress, that said level of 0 to 10, down to about a 2 or 3, then we can start adding in some positive things. So let's do a positive round just to show you. And this is a really quick blip of an introduction. So I have certificates there for a free session. That's where all my contact information is too. Please call me. Glad to come out and just, lead you through it so you get some more experience. Thank you. Okay, we're going to do one quick round of positives, and then I'll open it up for a couple minutes of discussion, okay? Alrighty, so we're going to start back here. This is the setup statement, by the way, where we were doing some negatives and some positive, back and forth 3 times. So even though I'm still sad, I'm remembering that I have some friends where I'm living. And they're the ones that are here for me. So even though I'm not happy about being alone every weekend, I'm remembering that my family's busy. And sometimes I don't like her company anyway. So, even though I'm still a little pissed off, I guess I'm okay. And at least I don't have to listen to their complaining. Okay, let's come up here. I actually have some friends here. We support each other. Some of my family isn't so nice anyway. good thing that they stay awake. I'm learning to adjust. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, right there. I'm still a little lonely. And it would be nice if they came to see me. But I'm recognizing that we have different lives. And maybe that's a good thing. So I'm breathing and getting through it best I can. And I don't have to let it destroy my thinking. Okay, take a deep breath. And out. That's a little bit about tapping and letting go of trauma. And if you haven't tried it, come see me and do it with somebody who really knows what they're doing. Just as a free informational thing for you. Okay? So let's open it up to any questions you might have. Yes?
Okay, you gave us a website to go to on YouTube.
Yes?
Marjori.
Plus PACE. P-A-C-E. It stands for Positive, Action, Clarity, and Energy.
And that's Marjori Pace, not actually spelling out plus or the plus symbol.
I usually put a plus sign in there. Just all of a sudden, somebody named Marjori Pace showed up on YouTube. I'm like, really?
Is it marjoripace.com?
No, my website's...
It's on the flyer there.
Yeah, it's out there. It's all there, okay? But if you go to my website, you're going to see a lot of code right now because it's literally under construction right now. But it's successinhand.com. And, yeah. Anything else? Yes?
What is the relationship between tapping and EMDR?
Okay, EMDR is actually eye movement. So it works with different areas of the brain. What tapping does is it touches on the subconscious, which is held in the amygdala. And the subconscious, which is the original lizard brain, we have three brains. We have the subconscious, the amygdala, which is the lizard brain, is about as big as your thumb. Then we have the more highly developed brain, like whales and dolphins and dogs and cats and apes. And then we have the human brain. But ironically, the lizard brain is what runs, it is the filter for 90% of what you see and you think and then you do, right? So EMDR works with kind of switching back between the two hemispheres, and it does lessen trauma. Personally, I don't think that there's any one magic golden ticket for everybody, but I think that EFT has been proven to be more effective. Any other questions? All right. Thank you so much for letting me come speak.
I was really excited when I heard Marjori Favuzzi, and I thought there can only be one. I don't think I've seen you in 30 years.
At least 20.
At least 20. We went to church together so many years ago, and her children were little, and we still were.
No, we live in Rankin Valley.
Oh, so you're very near friend's house.
Yes, we are. And
My daughter just turned 30.
Oh my gosh. So, okay. Oh, that's all that. I did not babysit her. Thank you so much for coming, Mark.